Yun, okay. So, good morning. Pleasant morning to each and every one of us. So, for those among us who have attended the sessions yesterday, we do hope that it has been very informative and that you'll find our new resources pretty much useful. So, for this morning session, our topic is entitled Opening Up, Maximizing the Use of Open Access Resources. But beforehand, I would also like to mention that just as it was yesterday, we might be answering our questions or queries throughout the session. So for this morning, we have Ms. Elvira Bilapus, our Deputy University Librarian, as well as Ms. Rizalyn Vihanyo, the Head Librarian of the Information Services and Instruction section. So from here on out until the end of the session, they will be with us and they will be joining us as well for the Q&A portion. Okay, so before we continue, we wish to remind everyone of the following webinar mechanics. We will be recording each webinar session for documentation, evaluation, and dissemination purposes. Please note that by attending the webinar, you are permitting us to use any form of participation for such purposes. Questions will be collected via the Q&A chat box and answered during the Q&A portion at the end of each webinar session. So the Q&A chat box is located at the bottom of your Zoom window. The feedback evaluation form will also automatically appear on your web browsers once this session ends. And just like yesterday, we'll post the link once more in the chat box after the session. So digital certificates will only be given to participants who have successfully registered, participated, and answered the feedback evaluation form. Please note that due to the large volume of participants, there will be a considerable delay in the dissemination of digital certificates. So finding resources does not always mean focusing on paid subscriptions. So this session will introduce users to open access resources, which more often than not are overlooked in a literature search. So our speaker for this session earned her bachelor's degree in Library and Information Science at the University of the East Manila as magna cum laude in April 2015. After a year, she passed the licensure examination and continued to work at St. Luke's College of Medicine, William H. Quasha Memorial Medical Library. Currently, she serves as a college librarian at the University of the Philippines Diliman Main Library. She's mostly working with technical services, specifically cataloging and other bibliographic processes since the beginning of her career, but also handles reference, instruction, and research services. She's also a member of the Information Systems Implementation and Technical Support Committee of the UPD Main Library. So as part of her professional development, she started taking up her master's degree in the same discipline at the UE Manila Graduate School, wherein she is presently preparing to write her master's thesis. So everyone, let's all welcome Ms. Michelle Ann Manalo.
Thank you so much, AB. So let me share my screen. Nakita po ba?
Still loading, Mitch. Yeah,
Ayan.
okay, all good.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. To the faculty members, to the staff, to Miss LV, to the ISAIS team, thank you so much for having the time to join us in this webinar entitled Opening Up, Maximizing the Use of Open Access Resources. So this is the objective of this session. So to provide additional sources of information for researchers other than subscribed ones, to introduce users to open access resources carefully selected by the university library, and to establish the value of open resources in research. Okay, so there are several open access databases that the library has evaluated and selected to provide additional sources of information for researchers. So most of the electronic resources you will find in these sites are free and openly available for public use. So for this session, cover lang po natin yung iba sa mga open resources na na-evaluate po ng ating library. Okay, so first, what is open access? So open access refers to the ability for anyone, anywhere, to access the results of academic research free of charge. So open access literature is digital, online, free of charge, and free of most copyright and licensing restrictions. So by free of most copyright and licensing restrictions, so meaning users are allowed to read, to download. They can also copy, distribute, and print some articles. They can also create some links. They can also compile them for indexing. And they can also convert them into data for software processing. So these open access materials can be used for any other legal purposes without financial, legal, or technical barriers other than those of access to the internet itself. So when it comes to access, wala po tayong magiging problema maliban na lang sa internet connection, no? So the only constraint to reproducing and disseminating this literature and the only role of copyright in this area should be to give the author or the owner of the work the means to control the integrity of the work and the right to be mentioned and cited. Okay, so for open access materials, we have types of content providers. So we have publishers and aggregators. So publishers, sila po yung may-ari ng content. They also do the curation. And then we also have aggregators. So under aggregators, we have content hosts, gateways, and full text aggregators. So, yung content host, sila yung nagpo-provide ng service to publishers. So, their revenue stream will come from the services that they will provide to the publisher, meaning they cannot select um, subject area or quality of the content kasi yun lang yung pinoprovide ng mga publisher to the content host. And then we also have gateways. So gateways are a large collection of links to publishers' full text content. So hindi sila nag-host ng full text content, pero gumagamit sila ng mga abstracts and some key header information like the title, author name, ayan. And then we also have full text aggregators. So as the name suggests, it creates databases of full text articles defined by subject area and sold as a single product. Okay. So for our first aggregator, we have Google Scholar. So madalas maririnig nyo na sa mga librarian, no, na you can't Google everything, or yung mga teachers natin, mga professors natin nagsasabi na don't use Google kasi it searches public web content. So, totoo naman yun, pero kapag ginamit natin si Google Scholar ng maayos, magiging useful siya sa ating mga research. Okay, so Google Scholar was established in 2004. So Google Scholar is a massive database of scholarly literature that allows users to access information, cross-reference it with other sources, and keep up with new research as it comes out. So si Google Scholar different siya from ordinary Google because it searches the same kinds of scholarly books or materials that you can search in your library database. So using Google Scholar, you can access these kinds of sources. You can access journals, conference papers, academic books, preprints, theses and dissertations, abstracts, technical reports, and other scholarly literature. So, question. Peer-reviewed ba lahat ng makikita natin sa Google Scholar? So, the answer is no. Not all literature that can be found in Google Scholar is peer-reviewed. Google Scholar doesn't have a setting that will allow you to restrict results only to peer-reviewed articles. So, kapag nakita ka ng articles sa Google Scholar, just to make sure, visit mo yung publisher or yung site kung saan nag-originate yung article and tingnan mo kung gumagamit sila ng peer reviewing. So for terms of use, you have to ask for permission from the owner of the literature or the publisher if you want to use their content for commercial use. If not, you can freely read, share, and store the materials that you will be accessing. So pag personal use naman po yung reason mo to use the materials, hindi na kailangan mag-ask ng permission. Okay. So this is the main page of Google Scholar. So sometimes when you type the URL scholar.google.com, minsan meron kasing automatic suggest na country domain like .pk for Pakistan, ganyan. So just make sure na scholar.google.com lang po yung nakatype sa ating browser para hindi ma-localize yung traffic according to that certain country. Para hindi malimit yung mga results na pwedeng ipakita ni Google Scholar. So you can also sign in Google Scholar, but Google Scholar recommend that you use a personal account, not an account at your employer. Para kung sakaling hindi ka na connected dun sa iyong institution, makikip mo pa rin yung mga transaction or yung history ng Google Scholar mo. So when searching in Google Scholar, you can use quotation marks for keywords. So malilimit niya yung mga results pag gumamit ka ng quotation marks. And then you can also sort searches by date. So pwede mo rin siyang i-customize. Meron dito ng custom range. And then try to look for this keywords, all versions, related articles, and then cited by, para makita mo rin yung ibang available na free versions ng article. And then you can also save the articles using this star icon. So kapag kinlik mo yung star icon na yan, automatic nakasave na po yung mga articles na yon sa inyong My Library. And then you can also get citations. So ito po yung mga available na citations na meron, MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, and Vancouver. So you can also use the links below para ma-import nyo po yung mga citations sa Bibliography Management Tool. Okay, next is, ito yung mga tips or reminders when you are locating for full text version of an article. So, first, you can click a library link. So, kapag nasa loob po kayo ng UP campus ng Diliman, so, dapat ma-recognize ni Google Scholar si UP Englive. So, for now, si UP Englive pa lang po yung malilink natin kasi yung ating main library, ililink pa natin siya sa Google Scholar. So, kapag click nyo po yung find it in UP Englive, ida-direct nyo po kayo sa easy proxy ng College of Engineering. So, for that easy proxy, only ang staff, faculty, and students have the access. Sorry. And then, you can also look for all versions para ma-check nyo yung mga alternative sources. And then, you can also click a link that says PDF or HTML. So, kapag kinlik nyo yan, ida-direct na po niya kayo sa full text version. And then, you can also click related articles to explore more similar articles. Okay, so in Google Scholar, you can also do some advanced searching. So this is how it looks like. So you can limit the results according to this criteria. You can also put the name of the author, the name of the journal, and then the date. So sa left side lang po siya makita, left side ng screen, and then look for advanced search. And then we also have Google Scholar citations. So Google Scholar citations provide a simple way for authors to keep track of citations to their articles. You can check who is citing your publications, you can graph citations over time, and you can compute several citation metrics. You can also make your profile public so that it may appear in Google Scholar results when people search for your name. So, ito lang po yung itsura ng paggawa ng account sa Google Scholar Citation. So, dito naman, nire-recommend nila na ang ilagay natin na email for verification is our UP email, no? Para maging eligible tayo for inclusion in Google Scholar search results. So, this is an example of an author profile in Google Scholar. So, you can see there the citations and then a list of your works and then yung year kung kailan sila upload and then yung citation per article. Okay, so next aggregator of open access resources is the DOAJ or DOAJ, the Directory of Open Access Journals. So as defined in their website, DOAJ is a community-curated online directory that indexes and provides access to high-quality, open-access, peer-reviewed journals. DOAJ is independent. All funding is via donations, 18% of which comes from sponsors and 82% from members and publisher members. All DOAJ services are free of charge, including being indexed in DOAJ. So all data is freely available. So for the terms of use, ginagamit din ni DOAJ yung CC license. So DOAJ gives the ability for the user to read, download, copy, distribute, print, search, or link to the full text of the articles per the Budapest Open Access Initiative. So yan yung isa sa mga significant strength ni DOAJ kasi hindi na kailangan mag-ask ng permission. Kapag mag-handout kayo ng mga articles sa mga class nyo, kapag sa mga library, papa-include nyo yung mga articles sa e-reserves, or kung i-share nyo man siya inside or outside the institution. So this is the look of their main page. So to visit the site, simply type doaj.org or doaj.org. So as of August 10, 2020, they already have 15,000 journals, 12,000 searchable at article level from 133 countries and 5 million plus articles. So in searching, you can use the quick search box here, and then you can also try advanced searching. So when you visit the DOAJ site, try to browse din yung mga links po nila dito sa right side. Yung kanilang FAQs, yung kanilang open access resources, transparency and best practice. Kasi meron silang very detailed FAQs, no? So, lahat ng mga question natin regarding DOAJ, the use of DOAJ, masasagot dyan sa FAQs. So, let's try to have a quick sample searching. So, nakikita po ba yung DOAJ screen?
Yes, Mitch.
Ayan. Okay, so for example, try natin yung basic searching. So for example, articles lang po yung hanapin natin. So type natin online learning. Then so ito yung magiging view ng search results. So marami tayong tools na pwedeng gamitin in searching. So we can share and embed the search results. Then we can also sort the results by relevance, date added to DOAJ, title, and then article publication date. So, dito naman sa left side, dahil article lang yung kinlik natin kanina, so makita natin showing articles. And then you can also filter your search by subject, and then journal title, and then journal that has DOAJ seal. So itong DOAJ seal, siya yung ina-award ng DOAJ sa mga articles or mga journals na naka-achieve ng high level of openness. So merong mga criteria para ma-achieve yung DOAJ seal. So we also have journal license. So dito sa journal license, makikita nyo, merong CCBY, CCBY-NC, ND, and others. So under Creative Commons, meron pang iba't ibang types of licenses. So si CC license or Creative Commons license is a non-for-profit organization that addresses the limits of copyright. So merong 6 licenses under CC license. So the most common is CCBY. So CCBY means Creative Commons by attribution only. So it permits any use of content without permission, provided that the author and sources are cited. This is the most open license. So kahit mapa-commercial o mapa-non-commercial, provided na sinite nyo yung author and yung source, okay na yun. And then we also have the next most common is the CCBY-NC-ND and the CCBY-NC. So CCBY-NC-ND stands for Creative Commons by attribution only, non-commercial, non-derivative. And then the CCBY-NC stands for Creative Commons by attribution, non-commercial. So both allow any non-commercial use of the content without permission, provided that the author and the source are cited. The only difference is that CCBY-NC allows modification while CCBY-NC-ND does not. So yun po yung mga common CC licenses. So marami pa ditong CC licenses, meron ding publisher's own license. So pwede nyo na rin i-check yung mga articles according to the journal license. And then, of course, year of publication. So, makikita nyo sa bawat search result, available naman yung abstract and full text. Okay? So, balik lang po ako sa slide ko. So, next aggregator is DOAB. So, kung meron tayo for open access journals, syempre meron din tayo for open access books. So, mas recent siya kay DOAJ. So, noong April 2012 lang siya na-launch. So, it is very useful for the field of information to have this kind of service for monographs to promote resources. So, as Sandy Thatcher said in her recent article in Journal of Librarianship and Scholarly Communication, it makes no sense intellectually for journal literature to be digitally available via OA, while monographic literature is not, as this will create an unfortunate digital divide between naturally symbiotic forms of scholarly writing. So, totoo naman, diba? So, pag meron tayong open access journals, maganda rin na meron tayong open access books. So the primary aim of the web is to increase discoverability of open access books. Aggregators can integrate the records in their commercial services, and libraries can integrate the directory into their online catalog. So same lang siya with DOAJ. So pinapayagan nila yung commercial and non-commercial use, provided na isa-cite po yung mga author and source. So this is the look of their main page. So you can visit the web by typing doabooks.org or doabooks.org. So as of August 13, they already have 29,000 plus peer-review books from 390 publishers. So try din natin mag-basic searching. So, share ko lang po yung screen. So, yan. This is the site of DOWAB. So, when searching in DOWAB, you can use the search pages if you have a specific question. So, ito po yun, yung search page. And then, you can use the browse page to look at several books that are related in some way. Like, for example, by publisher, by alphabet, by subject. Ayan. So, let's try online learning. So, ito po yung look ng search results. So, yung filters naman niya nasa right side. So, you can also narrow your search by publisher, by license, by language, and year. And then, below the result, meron din kayong abstract, keywords, free access, and buy the book. Buy the book is if you want to purchase the print version of the book, pwede nyo pong i-click yung buy the book. Okay? So, balik lang ako sa slide ko. So, next is Springer Open. So, for UP Diliman users, you can access Springer link via our easy proxy. But if you want to browse some open access resources, pwede naman. And for those who do not have access to UPD easy proxy, you can utilize Springer Open. So, Springer Open journals and books are made freely and permanently available online immediately upon publication. They are subject to high-level peer review, author and production services, ensuring quality and reliability of the work. Okay, so like DOWAJ and DOWAB, yung each article or each journal sa loob ng site na ito, naka-state siya each kung anong CC license yung naka-apply. So, this is the look of their main page. So, if you want to visit Springer Open, type springeropen.com in your browser. So, you can also register as a user. So, you can add article alerts, you can manage your articles. Ayan. So, si Springer Open, more of being a place siya where you can publish open access journals. Pero makakakuha ka pa rin ng mga full text articles and books using Springer Open. So, ayan. For our faculty members who are interested to explore Springer Open regarding publishing their works, you can click the Get Publish and About button para malaman nyo po yung mga procedures or yung mga details about publishing your work in Springer Open. So, let's do a demo using Springer Open. Ayan, so ito po yung site nila. So, you can search using this button. So, for example, economic session. So, this is the look of the search results. Yan. So, makikita nyo rin sa bawat result, merong full text and PDF na button. So, you can sort by relevance or by date. And then, if you are looking for open access books, you can click on the books button here. And then, scroll down a bit lang to look for download free of charge. So, browse our open access books and download any free of charge from Springer link. So, let's try to click this browse button. So, actually, madadirect kayo sa Springer Link website. So, fini-figure out ko kasi using Springer Link na diretso kung paano ililimit yung open access package. Hindi ko siya makita. So, yun yung isang way para ma-automatic na siya na magse-search sa open access package. So you can go to the springeropen.com and then look for books and then click browse and then ma-redirect po kayo dito sa Springer link and then you can see na you are now only searching within the open access package. Okay, so dito pwede nyo na rin gawin siya as journal or article. So try natin i-cross out yung book. So makita natin, pwede natin i-click yung article, chapter, conference paper. So let's try. Yan. There. So makita mo, bawat result merong label na open access. So madadownload nyo na po agad yung PDF or full text version of the article. Okay? So let's go back to my... Medyo nakakahilo po ano. Ayan. Okay, so next aggregator is the Highwire Press. So according to their website, Highwire Press is a division of Stanford University Libraries. So it hosts the largest repository of free, full-text life science articles in the world. So Highwire has integrated CCC license into their platform to allow publishers the ability to offer customers instant permission to reuse content right within their workflow. So this is the look of their main page. So you can type highwire.org/list/browse.dtl. So as you can see, there is no search bar in this website. So this is quite useful for researchers who are already familiar with medical publications and publishers. Kasi yun yung gagamitin nila in browsing through find articles. Okay, so let's do a basic searching. Let's go to Highwire. Nakikita po ba yung screen ko ng Highwire?
Not yet, Mitch.
Okay.
Okay, nice.
Okay. So, pwede natin i-click yung by title and by publisher. So, ito po yung nagiging look ng browsing through the title. So, you can see some information at the right side. So, you can see info, free issues, and free site. So, si info, papakita niya lang yung mga details and other reminders when using these publishers or journals. And then, important lang na i-note natin yung free issues. Kasi pag sinabing free issues, may limitations siya. So, maaaring yung mga current articles, hindi pa siya nakapublish as open access. And then, yung free site naman, automatically lahat ng materials nila is open access na agad. Okay? So, let's go to my... Okay, so next is the ASEAN Digital Library or ADL. So ASEAN Digital Library is a regional project to aggregate and connect the digitized resources of national libraries in the ASEAN region so that these repositories can be accessed through a single search facility. So si ADL project siya ni National Library Board of Singapore with support from the ASEAN Committee on Culture and Information. So unlike the previous sites that we've discussed, si ADL mas strict yung terms of use niya. So according to ADL, the contents of the website shall not be reproduced, republished, uploaded, posted, transmitted, or otherwise distributed in any way without the prior written permission from the NLB and other third parties. So if you want to use the content of this website, kailangan mag-ask permission kayo sa original owner ng material. Okay? So this is the main page of ADL. So if you want to visit ADL, type aseanlibrary.org. So the content focus of ADL is digitized collections of various formats like books, manuscripts, maps, drawings, paintings, photographs, newspapers, research papers, yan, yung mga video recordings from National Libraries in the ASEAN region. So, some of their content partners are National Library of Cambodia, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, and other national libraries. So, try ulit natin mag-basic search. So, this is the ASEAN Digital Library website. So, napakalinis nung look ng kanilang site. Napaka-minimalist. So, makita nyo yung search bar nila dito. And then, yung sinasabi ko na mga content partners, mababrowse nyo siya dito sa baba. Ito sa may mga pictures. Okay. So, ayan, marami silang content partners. May Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore. So, try natin mag-browse sa National Library of Malaysia. Okay, so ito yung magiging look ng search results. So, makita nyo dito yung number of results. They have 1,290 materials. So, you can also filter your search according to country and then type of material, articles, books, images, manuscripts, newspapers, and others. And then language. Marami din silang language na available. So, try natin mag-click ng isang material. Example, A History of Pahang. Okay. So, brief details, nandito po sa baba ng image, title, author, description, subject, and then the partner's content URL. So, ito yung magiging link nyo to the full text material. So, let's try to click link to content. Medyo mabagal lang. Okay. So, i-redirect niya po kayo sa National Library of Malaysia. So, click nyo lang po itong view or open. And then, makita nyo na yung full text material or PDF. Lapit na. Ayan. So, makikita nyo na po yung material. And then, you can download or read only. Okay? So, for example, try po natin na i-access yung contents ng National Library of the Philippines. Nag-try kasi akong mag-search and merong mga links na hindi nagwo-work. So, according to NLP, you can browse Tekno-Aklatan instead. So, you can access this site by typing nlp.gov.ph/teknoaklatan.htm. So according to NLP, it contains more titles than ADL. Kasi yung ina-upload po nila sa ADL is selected titles lang. So dito makita nyo lahat ng available digital collection ng National Library. So makita nyo yung name ng material and then yung scope, provided siya, and then content. So, yung full and limited access, pag sinabing limited access, kailangan po natin maging present within the area of NLP para ma-access natin yung material. So, pag full naman, pwede na natin siyang ma-download or ma-read only right away. Okay? So, next, this is a publisher for open access materials. So you can also access this site by using our EC proxy in UP Diliman, but you can still use this powerful site even if you or your institution do not have a subscription to it. So while the open access journals are supported by a network of authoritative journals and societies as well as internationally renowned editorial board members, all researchers or research articles published in widely open access journals are immediately freely available to read, download, and share. Ayan. So, for widely OA materials, users are allowed to use, distribute, and reproduce any medium provided that the original work is properly cited. So, under pa rin siya ng terms ng Creative Commons license. So, basically, most of the open access sites, ina-apply po nila yung most open license under Creative Commons. So this is the look of their website. So to visit Wiley, so type onlinelibrary.wiley.com. So you can also log in or register. So yan po yung magiging functions kapag naka-log in kayo using your account. And then we can try some searching using Wiley Open Library. Nakikita na po ba yung screen ko sa Wiley Online Library?
Yes, Mitch.
Okay. So, try natin halimbawa research marketing. Ayan, kapag nagpunta po kayo dito, meron din mga filters na pwede nyo gamitin on your search. You can search by articles and chapters, publications, and collections. So sa left side, meron kayong publication type, and then publication date. Pwede nyo rin siyang i-customize. And then, ito po, yung open access content. Pwede nyo siyang i-enable para lahat ng searches open access yung ibibigay niya na results. So, makikita nyo naman sa bawat result, meron po siyang label na open access. Yung color violet na to. Okay? So let's go back to my slide. So those are some of the many useful open access sites where we can get some resources or materials for free. So, kung gusto nyo pa pong ma-explore yung iba't ibang open access materials, we can go to the mainlib.upd.edu.ph. So, try natin i-visit. So, kung makikita nyo po, kung familiar po kayo sa dating look ng ating main library website, ayan, nade-differentiate nyo na kasi iba na yung look niya. So, updated na po ang ating main lib website. So, to look for the list of open access sites, so you can click search here at the right side and then look for open access. So, if you click open access, ito po yung ipapakita niya. So, you can browse through all the evaluated and selected open access sites by the main library. So, andito po yung mga na-discuss ko kanina. So, ayan. So, feel free to browse these materials, no? So, some final words lang po. OA materials or open access materials are additional information. So, open access sites are not perfect. So, hindi niya tayo bibigyan ng automatic na full text content. So, pwedeng links lang yung maging available pero ida-direct niya tayo kung saan tayo makakakuha ng mga full text version of the material. So, when visiting open access sites, make it a habit to visit the FAQs in terms of use. So, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, most of the open access sites, ina-apply nila yung CC license or the Creative Commons license. So, maluwag naman siya when it comes to the use of the materials. Pero meron din kasing iba't ibang types of license. Pwedeng yung ibang materials, pwede mo siyang i-copy, pwede mo siyang i-distribute, pero hindi mo pwedeng i-modify yung content. So, kailangan mo ng karagdagang permission from the owner or the source of the material. No? So, if you have questions po, regarding open access materials or kahit anong material within the library. So feel free to contact us through this contact details. Okay. So that ends my presentation.
Okay, so thank you for that very thorough, very informative session, Mitch. No, and hopefully these kinds of resources, these open access resources would be useful to us, no, especially to our faculty in their academic requirements, you might say, as well as their research objectives. Okay, so I guess we can now move on to our Q&A portion of the on our screens. Okay, first off, can I give a copy of the books in DOAB to my students? So directory of open access books.
So according naman po sa kanilang terms of use, free naman tayo to share or distribute the materials. Siguro mas okay na lang din na instead of providing them the full text or the PDF version of the material, siguro mas okay kung magpo-provide na lang tayo ng link so they can download the materials themselves para mas safe. Pero okay din naman po kasi naka-state naman sa DOAB na for commercial or non-commercial use, you can distribute the materials to your students.
Ayun. So thank you for that clarification, Mitch. And the next one is, so you mentioned earlier that in Google Scholar, we need to use a personal account. not that of our employer. So maybe that's the UP account. So does this mean we can't use our UP email?
Yes, ma'am, you can use your UP email. Pero nire-recommend lang po ng Google Scholar na gamitin natin yung personal account natin o yung personal Gmail account natin para in case na hindi na tayo affiliated or connected sa UP, no, makikip pa rin natin yung mga searches natin or yung mga save articles natin using Google Scholar. Yun lang po yung reason. Pero pwede naman gamitin yung UP mail.
Ayun, okay. But beforehand, we would also like to acknowledge the presence of our university librarian, Mr. Chitan Hangales. Morning, sir. Okay, so another question. So this one is regarding high wire. So ang high wire po ba ay para lang sa medical sources?
Yes, most of the materials in highwire, medical sources, medical related po siya.
Ayun. Okay, so another one, I think this one is for Wiley Online. So to log in, do we use our personal email or what is suggested?
For Wiley,
Yeah.
ma-access nyo po siya using easy proxy pag UP Diliman. Pero kapag gagawa po tayo ng account using Wiley para ma-save natin yung mga searches natin or i-favorite natin yung mga articles, pwedeng gamitin natin yung personal email na lang po.
Ayun. So thank you. So we still have a couple of more questions. So this one is, does UP have a login access to Springer Open and Wiley Online?
Yes, using easy proxy po. Pwede nyo pong ma-access yung mga subscribe materials. Pero pag mag-browse kayo for open access materials, no need to use any login credentials.
Okay. So next is, can teachers or students from other constituent universities use also the UP Diliman Library during these new normal times? So maybe for this incoming semester?
So, yes, nag-offer naman po kami ng mga services for other CUs like DDS or Document Delivery Services. Pero sa ngayon po, hindi po open ng library for physical services.
Ayun. And obviously, please be updated po. So we usually post our updates on our social media platform. Because all of us know, medyo pa bago-bago from MECQ to GCQ and so on and so forth. So next, from Crevedo. So for articles in Wiley Online that are not open access, who do we ask permission from? Wiley or the publisher itself? Ayan.
So, permission po, no, for example, i-modify or may iba pong use aside from copying or distribution sa class, pwede nyo po kayong humingi ng permission sa publisher na po mismo if the materials are not open access.
Ayun. Okay, but I think let's see if we have other questions. But beforehand, we will also like to acknowledge the presence of Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs, Ms. Evangeline Amor. Welcome po. Good morning. So, ayun. So we have follow-up questions.
I think there's one in the chat box, AB.
Yeah. Okay, for a moment. Ayun, so do we have access to Westlaw?
Westlaw. I'm not familiar.
Yes, Ma'am Rai.
Yes, we have a subscription to Westlaw, but it's a college-based subscription, so exclusively for College of Law faculty and students only.
Yun, okay. So thank you for Clarification,
And
right?
I would also
Mhm.
like to add for the Springer Open and Wiley Online. So right now we don't have a subscription for uh, Springer Link journals for social sciences. What we have is the Springer and Wiley for engineering discipline. But we have Springer ebooks on multidisciplinary discipline.
Ayun. So thank you for that clarification, Ma'am Rai. So we have another question as well. So do we need to log in using our UP email or personal account every time we use these open access sites?
For other open access sites po, wala silang feature to log in. So you just have to type your keywords, then search. So if you want to serve your searches naman po or save some articles, you can um, log in your personal account na lang para mas safe tayo.
Ayun. So our next question is, I guess this question is from Dean Mitzi Marie Reyes, no, from our College of Fine Arts. So what open access among you've mentioned is focused on visual arts and design? So alin dun ang merong visual arts and design, I guess.
Maybe you can browse po sa using the WAJ or the WAB in ASEAN Digital Library. So you can browse through the subjects naman po para makita po natin kung alin po yung related doon with visual arts and design.
Yun. Okay. And so I think this is in conjunction with the previous question. No? So how do we ask permission from the original author? Should we email them directly?
Yes, ma'am. For other open access sites, like ASEAN Digital Library and DOWAJ, DOWAB, you can email the original author directly. Pero sa iba pong open access sites, nagvo-volunteer naman po sila na kahit sila na lang po yung kontakin natin kung meron tayong concern regarding the use of the materials, and then sila na po yung kokontak sa original author.
Yun.
Like Springer Open, I think.
Okay, so thank you for that answer. So I guess we have another question, but it's here in our chat box. So how do you access the open access materials in the main library page?
Yes, katulad po ng pinakita ko kanina, visit nyo lang po yung mainlive.upd.edu.ph, and then at the right side, look for the search button, and then pag click po natin yon, meron tayong makikitang open access. So doon po natin mababrowse yung iba pa pong hindi natin na-discuss na open access sites.
Ayun. So okay, so we have follow-up questions as well. Okay, so this one is technical, no? So is the easy proxy or remote access
We're so alive. We're so alive.
site down today? So I tried logging in using my Diliman account, but I cannot log in using because my username and password is invalid. Ayan.
Faculty po siguro ito, no?
Yes.
Ayan, kung hindi po natin ma-access yung easy proxy natin, you can send an email para ma-verify po natin yung account. Baka meron ding problem sa password or dun sa mismong account. So, send us an email na lang po.
And actually, in addition to that, no, sometimes I think the UP Diliman Computer Center actually posts whenever they will conduct a maintenance, no?
Yes.
So please do check out their Facebook page, and obviously, on our part, we'll share them as well because sometimes it affects easy proxy. Okay. Okay. So another question. So which open access that you've mentioned is focused on biology and environmental science?
Yes, you can try accessing Highwire Press or DOWAJ or DOWAB. Kasi very wide naman po yung kinikater na subjects ng DOWAJ and DOWAB.
Ayun. Okay, so Do you still have any other questions? There are none. I think I should ask if Sir Chito, Ma'am Elvie, or Ma'am Rai would add anything else regarding this session or presentation.
Yes, good morning. Uh, add ko lang regarding access to our subscribe e-resources. So if you have problems using the remote access platform, the Easy Proxy, there's another way. Especially for faculty members, you can request for VPN accounts at the UP Computer Center. So through the VPN accounts, pag naka-login tayo, we can access all our subscribed e-resources. That is for Diliman po yun. Okay, so there's a form I think that is available in their website to be filled out if you wish to have your own VPN account.
Ayun. So thank you for that clarification, Sir Chito. And we have another question. So what Filipiniana-related materials or resources from UP are available for remote and open access?
Siguro yun pong discuss kahapon for the afternoon session, yung ProQuest thesis and dissertation materials. So, pwede nyo pong makita yung list ng mga available na PQDT titles. Open access naman po siya. Gamitin nyo lang po yung UP mail nyo para ma-access po yung mga full text. Read-only files.
Okay, so but obviously, in addition to that, I would like to add, in using your Easy Proxy, you may want to see IG Library. So isa po yun sa subscription natin sa ebooks, and most of them are digitized monographs. So mga dinigitize po siya ng mga libro, and medyo marami po siya spanning different aspects. No? So you may want to take a look at that po. Okay. So let's see if we have any other questions. Okay, so when are we going to have online subscriptions to Wiley and Springer for social sciences? Ayan, so I think this was brought earlier. I think
Maybe Ms. Rai can answer.
yeah, so it's about Wiley and Springer for social sciences. So I think this was answered earlier. Yes, Ma'am Rai?
I think Sir Chito maybe can answer.
Yes, we have a pending request for subscription. Pero wala pa tayong confirmation. So let's just wait. Para ito dun sa Springer. But I'm not sure dun sa Wiley.
Ayun. But nonetheless, we'll keep you posted. So every now and then, we post our usual subscriptions or maybe databases on trial po sa ating Facebook page. Ayan. Okay. Do you have any other questions? So I guess we have run out of time. It's already 10 a.m. So thank you once more, Mitch, for that very informative, very interesting presentation on open access resources, no, that will be useful in this incoming semester, and so on and so forth. Okay, so please don't forget to access our feedback form. So we have the link there at our chat box. Please answer them. We highly encourage you to answer them right after this presentation. So this afternoon, we have another one. So I think it's about EBSCO Discovery Service. Hopefully, will join us there. But until then, please stay safe. So again, thank you.